Another way that they're stacking the deck against the third parties is the debate. So let's get into this story on ABC News, rigging the debate. It's very interesting. There is a Libertarian candidate for president. There is a Green Party candidate for president. There's other candidates for president. Nowhere in there can they participate in a debate. Just maybe there's, the interesting thing about watching the debate is there's no difference on Social Security between the two candidates. There's not a big difference between Israel and the two candidates, although we never know where Kamala really stands, but they're very much both seems to be in favor in providing funding for Israel. There's no difference between the two candidates on debt. Neither one's going to be a fiscal hawk. So it's like there does seem to be room on some pretty major issues where another viewpoint should be welcomed on stage. There's monumental differences on economic policy and border and stuff like that, and abortion between the candidates. But there are big key issues. It seems like another opinion could be allowed, but the commission never allows it. They don't want another candidate. They don't want choice between in the electorate, even though in most states, people actually do have a choice. In Minnesota, we have what? You would know this, Jesse. How many choices I'm going to have to pick for president?
Unfortunately, 9. We should only have 8.
Yeah,
because we have Dr. Shiva, who is unconstitutionally on the ballot. But, one thing I want to say on the debate points, too, because you're right that the debates have gotten more corrupt and more corporate as years have gone on in our country, because it was run by the League of Women Voters, later taken over by the Commission on Presidential Debates. Now it's just completely run by the campaigns and the media. So when we don't have a fair, neutral arbiter running these debates, it's always going to allow it to be corrupt. And in this case, it's helping out the Democrats, because the Democrats are the ones with the power because they got a campaign in it. Plus, they got the media doing their favor.
All right, let's go to this story. This is ABC News potentially rigging a debate.
Yeah.
They rigged the debate. Can we just be honest about what's going on? They didn't fact-check Kamala Harris, and she had some doozies. And they weren't even correct on the fact-checking of Trump. So go to the C1 here, Dawson. This is an alleged whistleblower. Okay, I'm not standing by this being a true story, okay? I'm just using this as something that's conversational. Elon Musk, Bill Ackman have noted this as something that needs to be addressed. ABC News has now finally responded to this and saying that's not true. Okay, I just want to bring this up because there's an interesting
thing. It's got 9 million views on that tweet there, so it's obviously getting attention.
So I could tear holes in this thing, This is allegedly a male who works in tech services for ABC News, so not a reporter, not an anchor or anything like that, who noticed bias. Even if you go to the first page, just click on the first image. This person who's been redacted from this affidavit, this was a signed affidavit. This is, by the way, September 9th, so this is before the debate, which was September 10th. So the individual says in bullet point number 4, for the record, I do not endorse Donald Trump in his capacity as candidate for president of the United States. Okay, so it's not like it's allegedly somebody that's just a Trump supporter inside of ABC News. So let's go to page 3, Dawson. This is where it's interesting what's being alleged that ABC News did. The Harris campaign received particular accommodations, including but not limited to the providing of a podium significantly smaller than that used by Donald Trump, and assurance. By the way, is that rare? I don't even know if that's rare. It seems like that's probably done very frequently.
I know. I would imagine that's pretty common.
Yeah, I don't know in presidential stuff, but just general TV, that absolutely happens.
There was one little debate where Mike Bloomberg, when he was going to, running for the Democratic primary, he wanted a little box to be able to step on because he's such a short little guy.
He's a tiny dude.
He was not allowed to get the box. So there is some precedent.
It is
here.
A big deal, by the way, because when you're so short, that doesn't look good, right?
That's why you just take a note out of DeSantis's shoes and
put some high heels on and get out there.
Let's see what you did there.
Yep.
It was agreed that Donald Trump would be subjected to fact-checking during the debate, while Kamala Harris would not face comparable scrutiny. This was widely known throughout the company that Donald Trump would be fact-checked. Okay, now hold that thought, because one of the moderators is basically admitted to that. Third point. The Harris campaign was provided with sample questions that, while not the exact questions, covered similar topics that would appear during the debate. That would be clearly against rules, right? Now,
would it matter?
I almost wonder that same thing,
Yeah,
Dawson.
of course.
It's like,
You
I
can't
think,
have one candidate given the question
right, but
beforehand
it's
and one
like,
not.
was there really a shocker in there? Like, I could have probably figured all those questions were
Right,
coming.
exactly. Inflation, right.
Abortion.
Some of them were obvious.
But by the way, ABC News has done this. Wasn't that the story in the down in Brazil, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So this has been done before. So anyhow, this was. So once again, is this affidavit correct? You could tear holes into it. It's redacted. We would want the whistleblower to come clean. It's gotten the interest of people. Finally, ABC News has denied it. Okay, they say that this is not true, or they deny that they gave. I guess they didn't say that there's no whistleblower. They just denied the allegations there. Okay. Well, here is what. Let's go to the C2, Dawson. This is Lindsay Davis, who is one of the people fact-checking Trump. We all saw this, right? We all saw the moderators fact-check Trump, I think it was 4 times, and never Kamala Harris. And mind you, Kamala Harris had some whopping doozies that were incorrect, like he said that the white supremacists were good people. Did not happen, right? That is so...
Well, did you see that one video? There's like a video. She says something like, "We have nobody under this administration. There is nobody deployed in an active war or something." And then there's videos of all these guys on active duty. And what are we doing here then? You know, they're taking selfies and stuff. It's like, yeah, I mean, there are tons of lies that she said in that debate.
Scroll down here, Dawson. In an interview with Los Angeles Times, Davis said she wanted to address concerns that Trump's statements could be allowed to hang there unchallenged by his opponent or the moderators as they were when Trump and Biden debated on CNN in June. Quote, Davis wearing pink glasses while speaking to the Times over breakfast at the Ritz-Carlton in Philadelphia said the decision to attempt to correct the candidates was in response to the June 27th CNN debate between Trump and President Biden, whose poor performance led to his exit from the race. People were concerned that statements were allowed to just hang and not be disputed by the candidate Biden at the time or the moderators, Davis told the outlet on Wednesday morning. So I actually read the interview by the LA Times. This is obviously Breitbart, so they're reporting on it, where she basically said that it was decided ahead of time that they were going to do, so they actually did the research on what they thought, like statements that the candidate said, and then they inserted themselves. So she admitted that that was a concerted effort, danced around if it was done towards Trump, but we saw the execution. It was done one-sided, which, okay, can we just, I understand why someone would want them to fact-check because you don't want misinformation out there, but the idea that you're fact-checking a debate, that should be the other candidate's job, right? If you're so worried about misinformation, it's your job, Kamala, to correct that.
I would actually disagree with that. I think that if you're having a debate, I mean, I don't like how debates are anyways, because it's just, you know, say your thing, but you're going to talk about what you want, and then they get to do the same thing back and forth. But I think that fact-checking should be left up to people who, like, that's their job.
Yeah, the only problem is there's just not independent people who can be trusted, you know, especially like, you know, the abortion law in Minnesota. I mean, are we supposed to think someone from ABC has done the research and, you know, read the Minnesota law and everything?
They could do that, but it's always going to be biased one way or another. So it's
right.
Which is why they shouldn't do it, right?
They should do it after the fact. If they want to have an independent, verified person who's actually fair, that's no problem. Do it after the fact. But to do it live during the debate just shows bias.
I mean, I don't see how they do this, Dawson. I mean,
no, I think that it is good for them to try to do, like, if the one that came up again, they're eating the cats and dogs, and they said that there have been no reports. I think that's fine.
No, actually, what they said there was that the city manager says that there's no documented cases where this existed. Yep. So that was their fact checking, was literally taking a government official's word.
Yep. Awesome. I like that.
But that's insanity to say that. That's what the media's job is, supposed to scrutinize what the official narrative is, what the government officials say. If they just take what the city manager says or the president of the United States, what they say, it's like, what's your job as the media? Well, it's just propaganda at that point.
What do you want them to do? Trump says it on stage and they say, all right, let's get together a team, go over there, talk.
It's Kamala's job to deny it. I agree the spirit of this, but there's no way this could be executed well because they're going to insert their own bias.
No,
and in this case, they clearly got it wrong on the abortion issue.
I think it would be really bad to have the politicians themselves fact-checking, because then you're just going to get them saying, actually, that's not true. I have the best thing for this, and they're going to twist it however they want it to be. It should be some independent third party, whatever.
So I would think that it's actually our responsibility as individuals to fact check them. It's somebody shouldn't be telling us, because then we got to fact check the fact checkers. So
we
that's
have
what
to
it
do.
comes. Yeah. Like, and what?
But most people aren't going to do it, and that's why they do this, right? This is why the ABC News debate was rigged. Because they know people are too late. Not us, but the casual viewers too lazy to do it. So now I'm going to fact correct it because I look like I'm from a position of authority and unbiased here. I have no bias, and Trump is wrong, and I'm going to fact check him 4 times. And by the way, crickets when it came to Kamala Harris.
Well,
so you're right. They should do it,
basis-
but they know they're not going to.
the basis of the propaganda machine. That's
Exactly. That's my point. It's like they took the city manager's word as why that story was incorrect. Well, that is propaganda.
Rebecca, do you think they're eating the dogs and cats?
Yeah, what is your view on that?
I don't know, but I mean, I've lived in countries where they have. So I mean,
It's not a
could be.
stretch, is it?
I don't. Yeah, I
It's not a
don't.
stretch.
I mean, I don't think it's unreasonable to, but those grocery prices. Am I right? So,
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. It's been, like a week and a half, and I still haven't seen a single piece of proof. I'm
No,
still waiting.
there has been evidence. You just don't want to
No,
accept
I said
evidence there,
proof.
Dawson.
I said proof, not evidence.
Well, it takes a while to prove it, and I didn't see the fact checkers prove anything either, by the way.
That's true. I'm still waiting. No.
Because the fact checkers proof was the city manager said it, because he's never lying. The city manager is always correct and always giving good information.
Well, it sounds like he's still correct because no proof has come out, but soon I'm sure it'll come out.
The lack of proof means
being
he's
buried.
correct. That's how it works in Dawson's world. By the way, I have no idea if the story's true or not.
Imagine that there has to be proof for me to believe something. That's crazy.
Well, yes, in the end, we all have to for us to believe it, we want to see proof. I agree with you on that, but it doesn't mean that you insert your own viewpoint as a moderator, supposed to be the neutral party, the referee, when you're just quoting a city manager, a government official. It's insanity to me. But it's even beyond that. It's like, this is the problem. Maybe the spirit of fact-checking is good, but there's just no way. It's clear they can't do it right because they did it only one way in that debate, and therefore it's rigged. And it seems like Lindsay's even admitting that they were going into this fact-checking Trump.
Now I'm
Dawson,
curious.
did you see the comments?
No, I haven't been looking.
It says, Dawson, please turn your mic up. Another person, Scuba McSalty, says he's too busy deep state throating the banana to worry about audio quality.
Good. My bait worked. I got him to
Apparently
call
your
up the
mic is
banana.
quiet.
Here, let me see.
It's not the mic. He's just soft. So
So my question, Jake, last week you were saying that Trump actually won the debate, but now was it, like, did he lose and it was rigged,
I
or
don't
what?
believe I necessarily said
did.
Trump won the
That
debate.
was the
I
first
didn't.
thing you said, yeah.
I don't think there was a necessarily a clear winner. Everyone was saying, she won the debate. I'm like, I don't think anyone necessarily won the debate. What happened
at
was
the beginning of the show, you said that he won the debate, and Jesse agreed.
Yeah, I definitely. Well, I mean, I'll make the point that he won the debate because, yeah, I mean, I think the American people can see through when it's 3 against 1, and he got his points out there, didn't really stumble. So, yeah, I mean, people were expecting. They always say he's going to go out there and be a maniac. It never happened. So, yeah, I think he looked calm, collected. Yeah, I'd say he won. What's the point, Dawson?
I don't.
Well,
I
then he
don't.
lost, is my point.
I feel like you're putting me in a position. I mean, I could be
Okay.
wrong, but I don't think I said that. I think my point was I was pushing back on everyone saying that he lost the debate. So it doesn't mean the opposite's true. It could have been just a tie. In fact, what I was saying is I don't think it moved a bunch of people. Because really, there's like 5% that's undecided in this race, right? It's not a lot of people. So
Yeah,
of
it's
that
mainly
5%,
about turnout. It's not
Right.
about flipping undecided people. It's about getting your people to turn out.
Well,
and
that's
vote.
the thing is it's the undecideds. Like, who won the debate? Did the undecideds? That's really the impression that was left in that debate. It's what they thought, and I just don't buy this fact that she did a good job. She was trainable, no doubt about it. I was pleasantly surprised how well. And she did bait him into answering the wrong way on a question, but that was overblown. It's like he kept bringing up the border over and over again. So maybe he didn't
That's the thing.
answer directly
she
on that.
memorized lines. I don't know if that's winning a debate. She memorized
yes,
lines.
because
she got
what
them out.
This is the thing.
That's what every politician
what is a
does.
debate victory? One is you don't make a blunder and you cause your opponent to make a blunder that you can use over and over again in campaigns and commercials, right? So that's one. Neither candidate did that, in my opinion.
No, that's not true. When Trump said, "What about 7 months, 8 months, 9 months?"
Yeah, that's right. Right, but of course, who's going to promote that issue, right? And by the way, Trump should be like, "Oh my God, look at this. We got him on abortion." The second one is that you leave a certain impression with the people that need to still have their mind made up, or I leave an impression where you don't lose your supporters. And to that, I think Trump's just as even, if not better, than Kamala possibly on that one. So this whole idea that she won the debate is just another propaganda by the city manager of Springfield, Missouri, or Springfield, Ohio.
I guess it's propaganda from me because I am still.
That's right. You just took the city manager's viewpoint.